وش عملت الروزانا الله يجازيها يا رايحين ع فلسطين قلبي ما
Came to the University of Houston, if I can remember correctly, the choices on the application were white, black, Hispanic, non-Hispanic, like other races, and then there was like an other box, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And back then, I checked white, because everybody told me to check white. But now I've taken a conscious effort to check other if there's no Middle Eastern. And I ended up coming to U of H because it offered me almost a full scholarship and, gave me the opportunity to come to a college that was both big and small, if that makes sense. Because I was in the honors college, so I got like personal attention. I didn't feel so lost in college. At the same time, it was a big campus, like 3,500 students, lots of diversity. And I thought that that was the best place for me at that time. And it turned out to be very true. I've had a lot of opportunities at the University of Houston that I probably wouldn't have gotten elsewhere, even if I had gone to like a technically more highly ranked school or whatever. The diversity was a big plus. No, I do not think that the University of Houston offers a lot of Arab faculty or the opportunity to work with Arab faculty, because as far as I know, there aren't that many at the University of Houston. I know of 2 adjuncts, and that's it. So I feel like there is room for improvement. Affirmative action has skipped the Arabs, so that despite the fact that Arabs have a higher than average income in the United States, we're still like drastically and like uncounted, like drastically underrepresented in the places of power, like the bar, the universities. When I first came to the University of Houston, I looked up online before I came to the university about the different clubs, and I was really interested in an Arab club because I had moved from a place where there wasn't a lot of Arabs, and I just wanted to get involved. And it did say on the website that there was such a thing as an Arab American Student Association. I emailed the person who was supposedly in charge of this, and they hadn't existed for a long time. They basically consisted of an email list. So, that's why I joined other groups, like Students for a Democratic Society. But I was always interested in getting involved with a cultural group or something like that. There's the Lebanese Student Association. There's now a Saudi Student Association. A year ago, as far as I know, there was a Tunisian Student Association. But there was never something that was all-encompassing for some reason. And I think that this is the time to do that. Especially since people are like more excited about being Arab nowadays because of the Arab Spring. So I was contacted by the Arab American Education Foundation because they're working to get an Arab history chair at the Department of History, and we want to start some sort of Arab student union or coalition that encompasses the individual Arab groups on campus, but also creates an umbrella organization so that we can harness the sheer number of Arab students on campus and organize and promote our interests effectively. And some things would include organizing and promoting and asking for more educational opportunities having to do with the Arab world, asking for more degree options, more classes. Arab students in particular should ask for it, just as the African American students back in the 1960s and 1970s organized around African American studies. Student organizations that I've been involved with, like Students for Democratic Society, are like inadequate. They're not. And I've had the privilege of working with people from all sorts of backgrounds on not just Middle East issues, but we focus on human rights and we focus on democracy and those kinds of issues. The reason we need an Arab student union on campus is because only we can only we can represent our interests the best way. In terms of policy, we haven't really changed anything.
do I feel? I'm in inertia, I'm somewhere but not really sure. A place of movement, a vibration but dead at the core. A place I dreaded before, knew I was heading towards. Now that I said it, I'm more or less regretting the chore. I think my head's in the war, with legs getting hella sore. In a land of less immoral, playing tests of the poor. As if the sweat in my pores is but the cess that I store. Festering is a testament to the stress I endure. Love it or leave it, is this really where I'll be at? Now here, nowhere, hell is to see that. Life is inert gas, suspended into spiritual classless material class, got us react.
I moved here from California, like the last year. What?
Really?
I did.
Alright.
Why? Ish. Is that bad?
Yeah, very bad.
Why?
Somebody moving from California to Texas? Alright,
That
keep
wasn't
going.
my fault, man. I moved here against my will
Okay.
to Houston, Texas, last couple of months of senior year. My dad the other day was like, I'm so sorry I did this to you. I'm so sorry I brought you here. I know that you went through like 3 high schools. I was like, no, it's okay. I met Loi. And he's like, is that still recording?